Week 3 is about taking them into busier situations and gauging their confidence and courage. Socialization of the day. Day 15 is in elementary school. Now this can have children playing outside, like recess or after school, but you don't want them to engage with the students. You want to engage them and encourage them to look at you while they are focused on you instead of the children. You can play the engage-disengage game if you have to, as this can help many dogs engage with you rather than the environment around them. Day 16 is laying on a mat. This can help later on when you need them to lay in a down for extended periods of time, being unbothered. This can also help with you putting a blanket down for them to not lay on anything disgusting. That includes like gross popcorn on movie theaters or when it's really cold in airplanes. Day 17 is train noises. You can use it in real life if you have a track near you, or you can also use it recorded. Day 18 is lawnmowers or a weed whacker, or in the wintertime, a shovel or a snowblower. These can help with being more day-to-day situations that are weird, but not necessarily everyday situations. Day 19 is construction vehicles. Day 20 is sounds of buses. Now you can be around buses if you can find them, either school buses. Day 21 is sounds and possibly sights of theme park walkthroughs. I use a projector, but you can use a TV, but you want to really get them comfortable with the sounds and the chaos that a theme park is. That includes roller coasters and carousels and children screaming about not getting the right food that they wanted. New things to train this week. Stay. Last week was coming when called. This week is stay. Every 10 stays you want to do one coming out of a stay. If you're going to tell them to stay, you need to walk back into heel position before you say your release word. So that way they know being released means I have to still be in control. Start slow. You can take one single step backwards, or some dogs even break after you stand up. Start slow with one step, and after 5 successful tries, you can start with 2 steps. Go as slow as you need to. If they break, put them right back in the same position that they were. Either that's a sit or a down. Dogs tend to be able to leave their down a lot slower than their sit, so I suggest if you're going to work on stay, doing a down first and stay, because when they're sitting, they are already half standing up essentially. As they get better, you can work on you spinning in a circle around them or turning your back towards them. That will cause a lot of dogs to break. I suggest turning slightly around a little bit at a time, or taking a step in front of them. Only work on one. If you're going to go all the way around them, don't take any more steps than a single one. That means that you're not going to step on them, but you don't want to take 5 steps away and then start going in a circle. That will make them break. This may take several weeks for them to be proofed on your home as well as outside environments and busier environments. You also want to work on a training bubble. This will help with later on when little kids or grown adults will try to call your dog out from underneath you, or even just start talking to you. Some dogs will break. To do this, you want to have a family member or friend try to talking to you while you're ignoring them and training with your dog. You don't want them to continue talking to you. You want to make sure that you're not being rude. You want the friend and family member to know what is going on. And then after the dog is okay with only you being talked to, then you can have the person start either being more excited talking to you, or you can train on the person trying to talk the dog, but slowly and calmly, and then build up more hyperness as training goes on. You want to work on body space transitions. You already know one, which is heel position, but also a front or a front block, a side or a side heel position, and a back block. You want to lower them. You also want to work on one per day. You don't want to train them front and then side and then back all in one day, because then you will just confuse them. And then as the week goes later on and they know all the words, then you can start transitioning them from a side to a front, and then a front to a back block, or whatever. Just do it randomly, but in the beginning you want to do multiple sessions with just front in one day, and then just side, and then just back, all while also doing body transitions, which is sit, down, and stand in the spatial transitions. Places to train this week: you want to work on outside sporting games and events, practices. You don't want to go inside with a lot of people because that will be too chaotic for the dog. For winter, you can work on either figure skating or hockey and other like skiing and snowboarding. For summer, you can work on soccer or football, baseball, or basketball. You also want to train on very, very busy sidewalks, which means like sort of like the sidewalks that have store after store after store. You want them to be comfortable with walking on that and be engaged with you, so that way later on they're not pulling and everything while in a store, because there's a lot more people in a store than usually on a sidewalk, especially in the middle of winter. You also want to continue working on parking lots and parks. For parking lots, you want to train the first store that you think you're going to that is pet friendly. You want to do that because next week you should be taking your dog to the first pet friendly store inside, like Home Depot or Lowe's or Joann's or Marshall's and other pet friendly locations. You have to make sure it's pet friendly because they are not trained as a service dog yet. Max training minutes: 10 minutes inside your home and other places that you have done multiple training sessions with and you know that they are engaged, and 7 minutes for new training sessions in new places like the new parking lots or outside sporting events and everything. Things to train from last week: the body transitions, let's go, collar grabs, touch, and continuing on working engage and disengage game. You want to focus on bringing these into the older places that they have worked on, as well as transitioning them into more of the newer places as well. You really want them to start learning the body transitions and let's go, especially in these new environments. Other things to continue working on is meeting 10 to 15 people calmly, two different long light or decompression walks, 2 to 3 formal training sessions, positive play sessions outside, especially in the older, more comfortable situations like the parks and parking lots that you've already been to. The training game, which is outside, especially in the more comfortable environments, being handled and groomed, as well as boundary sessions. You can start working on boundary sessions in the park, for instance, waiting for you to open the car door and giving your release word before they are allowed to get up. Now they're puppies, so they shouldn't be able to jump out of the car, but you should telling them to wait or not stay, because because you can't get into the heel position while in the car. So you want to give them a wait command, and then as soon as you are ready, you can pick them up and put them on the ground, or putting them in your stroller, depending on how you were doing your training sessions in the outside environments, as well as, again, preventing bad dog behaviors. If you are having any problems, please don't hesitate to comment below and I will try to get back to you as soon as possible.